Hello, welcome to Pokédex, the channel where I build decks for the Pokemon trading card game. It seems really easy nowadays to build a stage 1 deck. Just throw in some Eeveelutions from Ancient Origins, and suddenly our stage 1s are hitting for weaknesses they couldn't otherwise. We have Flareon, which allows us to become fire types, and not only hit for weakness on grass and metal Pokemon, but also allow us to use the Blacksmith in some decks that attack for colorless energy. We have Jolteon, which allows us to kill those Shaymins, those Rayquazas, and those Lugias. And we also have Vaporeon, although it's not really useful in Standard. I think it's going to see a lot of play in Expanded, where water weakness is a real deal. So we're trying to push the Eeveelutions to the max with this deck. We're trying to build a stage 1 deck that deals the most damage with the least amount of energy. And when we have the weaknesses that the Eeveelutions give us, suddenly if we double that damage, we're basically just one-hit KOing EXs for potentially only a single energy. That seems really good. And the stage 1 that we chose for the job is Dugtrio. So this guy not only does 60 damage for just a single energy, it also does 10 damage to each of our benched Pokemon. That's kind of lame, but hopefully it won't be a problem. But this guy is fighting type, so we have all the support for the fighting type. We have the strong energy, we have the fighting stadium, we have the Karina, and there's also the fact that Manectric is weak to Dugtrio, and I think Manectric decks are going to be really good in the next expanded format. In the next standard format. Also potentially in expanded, but you never know, right? So Dugtrio hits Manectrics for weakness, and we don't even need the Eeveelutions. And that's what we are trying to do here. We're trying to go with our Dugtrio, stick a strong energy in there. Suddenly it's 80 damage if we stick either a Muscle Band or a Fighting Stadium or a second strong energy, you never know. You are one-hit KOing a Manectric. That seems amazing to me. It's so much damage for just a single energy and so little commitment. That's exactly what we want out of a stage 1 deck. So let's start looking into the card choices that I have in here. We start off with 2 Shaymin EX. This is more of a supporter than it is a Pokemon, especially in this deck, because we do not play the double colorless energy. Shaymin EX will probably never attack. We are playing 2 though, because it's just that good. We are playing a 4-4 Dugtrio line. It's our main attacker of the deck, so we want to get as many as possible, and we also have ways to get Dugtrio back into the deck. We have one Alucha. I really like to play one of these. It retreats for free, so it's always nice to have it on the table. We can do some tricks with our Escape Rope. If we Karina, for example, the Escape Rope and the Hawlucha, we can force the opponent to switch their Pokemon, and then we switch back from the Hawlucha because it retreats for free, as I said. But the fact that it can deal a lot of damage as well with just a single energy, on EX Pokemon, of course, but it's really good because this guy doesn't need to evolve, contrary to Dugtrio. But so yeah, it's really nice to have one in here. We can also use Sacred Ash to shuffle him back if we really need to. I'm playing a very thick Eevee line, so 3 Eevee, 3 basic Eevee, and then 2 Flareon and 2 Jolteon, because we do not play energy that allow Eevee to use energy evolution. Maybe we could play the other Eevee. I couldn't really bother, I just stick this one in there, but you guys can play the other Eevee, I guess. And I'm playing the 3 basic Eevee, as I said, because we really want to get this guy down before we manage to get the Eeveelutions into play, and I think they play a really important role in this deck. That's why such a thick line. As I mentioned, Escape Rope, really nice to play with a Hawlucha. Sometimes it allows us for some tricks, and it's a one-off, so I might as well play one of these instead of just the straight-up 3 switches. So yeah, 2 switches, 1 Escape Rope. They allow us to not spend energy, to retreat, and of course, if we are going first and we start with some Pokemon like the Eevee, it becomes really important to not even spend an energy to retreat, so we just stick the energy on the Diglett, and then the next turn we just use the switch and start attacking right away, and we can use our energy drops perfectly, basically. We have 1 Level Ball. This is a really good card because it grabs pretty much all our Pokemon in the deck, except for Shaymin, which is arguably the most important Pokemon to grab, but at the same time, sometimes we grab a Karina, and we want that second Pokemon, and we don't want to discard any more cards. So there's 1 Level Ball in here for that. Another card that combines really well with the Karina is the Professor's Letter. Basically turns our supporter into guaranteed energy. It's basic, but oh well, sometimes that's enough. 2 Sacred Ash. We really want to get ways to shuffle our Dugtrio back. Sometimes we are forced to discard the Sacred Ash early in the game, so we want to make sure that we have them, and we can shuffle some Dugtrios back. 4 Trainer's Mail, also really important as far as consistency goes, to just draw into our cards, draw into the level balls, the supporters, the muscle bands, and of course the stadiums, Fighting Stadium. We only play 2 Ultra Ball though in this deck. They are really good to grab the Shaman out of Ocarina, so they're kind of like playing a computer search of Ocarina. Because what we usually did with Ocarina is grab a computer search and then the following turn we computer search for a supporter. But because we have Shaman nowadays, we can just get an Ultra Ball and I don't know, a Diglett or a Dugtrio, and we can just play the level ball and grab a Shaman and draw some more cards. So it's really nice with Ocarina. After we spend the Ultra Balls or the Shaman, we still have the Trainer's Mail though, so it's still a very good card to have around. I mean, as supporters go, it's probably the best one to have in the early stages of the game, but then it loses a little bit of value later on, but still really nice to have, so I'm playing 3. We have 4 Via Seeker to grab our supporters back. Already talked about the Ocarina, but then we have the Lysander, 1 Professor Birch's Observations, and 4 Professor Sycamore, because it's just the best card drawing there is. We have 3 Fighting Stadiums and 4 Muscle Bands as far as damage increasing goes, and of course the 4 Fighting Energy, Strong Energy, and 4 Basic Fighting. We can get away with playing only 8 energy, because this deck attacks for so little energy. That's such a nice thing, just to be able to play the straight up 8 energy and be happy about that. So that's the deck. Let's go play it. This is a really exciting deck, as you guys will see. Hopefully get a nice match out of this, so see you guys in a minute. Alright, we're playing against Utzi, which is playing Lightning, Water, Colorless deck. Every time we see the Colorless indicator, we can, I think, expect something nice, because that kind of indicates a Shaman. So if our opponent is playing a Shaman, okay, we start with a Diglett, because we are going first. So it's, I don't think the opponent will kill us. Okay, so the opponent actually is playing a Manectric deck, it seems, so that's really nice. I think I'm going to grab another Diglett in case this one dies, and some way to draw cards, so got the Ultra Ball, that's perfect. I think can discard these Eevees. I don't think they will be useful, and we'll just go for the Shaman. Hopefully we draw into the Dugtrio later. Okay, let's just play it and draw 5 cards. We have the Stadium, which I think I'll save for next turn, and we have an Eevee, which I don't, yeah, I think I'll put it down. If the opponent knocks one of our Eevees down, we have the other one, but I don't really know if they are going to be useful or not. I'm just putting them down, you never know, right? Okay, so the opponent play the Lugia, and then play the Hex Maniac. I guess that's something that just makes me happy that I benched the Shaman there. So let's just play this thing. Okay, we got a Sycamore, which is really nice. We can shuffle the Eevee, but I don't think I want to. So I think I'm just going to put this thing here. I mean, it's a strong, but yeah, I think I'm going to put it on the bench, Diglett, and then just Sycamore. We got a Dugtrio. I'm going to put it there and attack, because this turn I'm just going to knock out this Manectric. And as I was going to say last turn, and I interrupted myself, the opponent put a Lugia down, which is awesome, because that means that if we manage to find a Jolteon, we can hit that Lugia for both weakness and resistance. And the opponent just gave us a Jolteon. But I think he's going to kill our Dugtrio. But we do have the Korrina there, so not really worried about that. If the opponent just plays a DCE and kills our Dugtrio, and there we go. We can just Korrina for another Dugtrio, play that Jolteon down, and just kill his Lugia in a single hit. We are dealing some damage to ourselves, but these Pokemon all have such low HP anyways that it doesn't really make that much of a difference, I don't think. Okay, we have, I guess, Via Seeker for later, and then we play the Korrina and grab the Dugtrio. And we can also go for, I think I need a Muscle Band. We have balls in here, but yeah, I think the Muscle Band is what we need, because even with the weakness, I think, yeah, it also resists us, so it's, I think we hit for weakness first and then resistance, so I'm just going to grab that Sycamore in case my opponent, okay, we kill that thing, so yeah, it's 240 minus 20. So it's weakness and then resistance, and the opponent could Seismitoad us could quick ink punch us, sorry, with that Seismitoad, and we wouldn't be able to use the VS Seeker that we had in hand. That's why I grabbed the Sycamore right away, even though I maybe would rather have the Corina. You don't really know, so just went for that Sycamore. Now, provided my opponent doesn't kill my Dugtrio, it's just dead, plain dead, because I will just grab that Shaymin and with the Lysander and kill him. Oh, yeah, that's game. This was a really quick match, but that's how things will go every time the opponents are playing. Yeah, we activate the stadium just because that's what's going to happen every time the opponent is playing a Mana Trick deck. I think this is such a powerful deck against those types of... I mean, every time the opponent is playing something that's weak to one of our 3 types, which are fighting, fire, and lightning, I think we're going to have a field day, because we are attacking with non-EXs, and we are hitting for 1-hit KOs for just a single energy. That's so insane. That's why I think this deck is pretty interesting, actually. I'm not saying this is going to be the best deck ever, but I actually find a lot of potential in this. I think this is Tier 2, for sure, and possibly kinda Tier 1, I don't know, that really depends on the meta. But yeah, this is definitely a very scary, strange deck, so to speak. It's not your best deck ever, like with all the X's or anything, but as far as rogue decks go, I think this is one of the scariest that you can face in a tournament if you're playing EX Pokemon. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was a very quick video, but that's the nature of the deck. We did fight a very good opponent and very good deck, so hope you guys enjoy this. Tell me what you think about this deck in the comments below, and see you guys next time. Bye!